I can comp any house anywhere that is a mid-century style in Boise just off the top of my head in like 10 seconds.
Right. And that's an amazing skill set, right?
Yeah. I've been an entrepreneur. I'm definitely like a self-starter person. You don't have to kick me in the butt every morning for me to like get going. That's a good foundation, I think, to being an entrepreneur, especially a real estate agent. You can't be a sit on the couch person all day and make it. You have to get going. You have to get yourself going. There's nobody who's going to motivate you as good as you're going to motivate yourself. I love really getting to know my clients as people, what they like, what they don't like, how they envision their life in the next 5 to 10 years. I am not doing this for money, really. Like, obviously it's a perk and that's why we all have jobs, but I do it because of the satisfaction. There's just nothing like it to help people satisfy that want or need or goal in their life. And to be on the other side of that, assisting them is just, it's an incredible feeling.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show, More Than a Mortgage. I am your host, Gavin Sessions. This podcast is all about going beyond the transaction, going beyond the nuts and bolts, and really getting to meet the people and the stories behind each and every one of those transactions. My guest today is a real estate agent that is a local guy, not a transplant. So believe it or not, Vance Likenberger, he grew up here in the Treasure Valley. He's been doing real estate for about 8 years, and he's super passionate about a specific style, mid-century modern. He loves it. And he lives it and breathes it. And if you have an interest in mid-century modern, you're going to love this conversation. And even if you don't, I think you'll learn a lot about it. Vance has an amazing story, and we're looking forward to having him share it with us. Vance, super glad you're here today.
Yeah, thank you, Gavin. I appreciate you guys having me, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Same, love it. I've never said this before, but I love the kind of the sweet naivety of kids. They don't know any better to not try something because they don't have any real like legitimate fear of man or fear of failure. I think there's God-given innate like caution that, I don't want to, well, maybe not actually. Kids might just walk right off a cliff. I'm not sure, but that's what parents
Let's not test that
are really helpful for. But yeah, kids are amazing because they will just try things that they have no ability to be able to do. And yet they also don't have any fear that would prevent them from talking themselves out of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And honestly, like that's such a cool way to like live. I feel like as you grow up into adulthood and college and high school, like fear gets implanted in you, or like embarrassment, things like that, or just like natural caution and risk. Like we become way more averse to trying new things or just putting yourself out there in a way because of the potential repercussions that you've invented in your own mind. But like kids don't have any of that. So yeah. Totally agree with that standpoint.
Yeah. And then as we grow, this is a book plug here. Gary Keller, you've probably heard of Keller Williams.
Here and there.
Yeah. Did you ever hear the book that he wrote called The One Thing?
I haven't, no.
It's a really good one. So here we go. We're recommending a book already, but would definitely recommend reading it or listening to it. I'm not much of a old school reader at this point, but I remember, I hope I'm not getting this wrong, but early on in this book, Gary Keller talks about we get conditioned to hearing no. And then that unfortunately leads us either as children or teens or young adults or whatever it is to become averse to trying things that we think will be told no. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like how sad. That's such a huge bummer.
Totally. But how is there a methodology to like getting around that as an adult?
Well, and I think that's probably some of the magic of his book is, and again, I haven't read this for probably 6 or 8 months, but there's so much power in a dream and in trying something. And so if you can dream about something and want it and then make a plan, whether you reverse engineer to get it, whether you are like a mouse in a maze and you just run into it and turn around or whatever it is, like I think there's so much power in making a dream because a dream is not achievable until you can make a plan around it. And somebody smarter than me said that at some point, and I don't know who to plug for that. But yeah, I mean, I think that's what we just get lulled to sleep as adults often is we're conditioned to hearing no, and we don't necessarily dream big enough. We don't necessarily have a plan. We don't have something we're shooting for. And then we just end up in monotony or, a mundane life. I don't know. I don't even know how we got here, but.
No, I don't know. And that's how you become a renter for the next 20 years.
What a segue.
Instead of just taking a little small step forward, contacting someone you know, like, and trust, and then seeing what's possible.
I love that. So tell me more. You must be in real estate for a career.
Yeah. I've been in real estate for 8 years now with mid-century homes. Been doing it in Boise the whole time. I love it here, and it's been great.
Dude, that's awesome. question I ask people all the time. And it doesn't matter what career you're in, but did you wake up one day as a kid or as a middle schooler and be like, hey, this is the career I want to have?
Absolutely not. I think most agents kind of fall into it in some way. I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. And
Love that.
before this, I went to Boise State, graduated from there, and then I became a partner at a furniture store in town. I was there for 6-7 years, and it was fun.
How many years?
So, geez, we're not doing that. 6,
Sorry,
7
I
years. Oh, no. Gen Z is going to eat this up, huh? Okay,
for them.
so I was, it really is. So I was there for a while, and it was great, but like the ceiling in retail, especially local retail, it's low and it's really challenging, and every day kind of beats you up. So I kind of became, eventually it was sort of like, man, I just can't do this forever. I'm 25 and, my body is already hurting, and just carrying all this stuff all the time and being there 80% of the hours that, the store was open. I just knew it wasn't a good like long-term play. And I've always been an entrepreneur. When I was in high school, I took a lot of interior design and architecture courses. Yeah. And man, when we got to the section that talked about mid-century furniture and home styles and the cars and all that stuff, I just was mind blown. It was something that had at that point when I was 17, 18 years old, just like stuck in my mind. Yeah. And it's been pretty cool that half of my life now later, I'm here doing it. So
that's super rad. Okay. So as a high school kid, really, there was some sort of interest in design and architecture, and who knew you could niche down in real estate to specifically a style, right? A mid-century style. And for those of us that maybe don't know what mid-century means, explain that for us.
Yeah. So in Boise, there are about 11,000 mid-century homes here.
That's a ton.
Yeah, it's quite a bit. Yeah, it's around approximately 10% of the total inventory, like in the valley. So a pretty solid proportion. Homes built in the 50s and 60s is what we consider it. And we've got the full gambit of what you could possibly find. There's untouched grandma's custom house that was built in 1957 that's never been touched versus something in the highlands, in the hills that has multi-million-dollar views that's been entirely remodeled. Each of those homes has been built in the 50s and 60s, so we consider that part of our niche. Okay. And we can often find clients regardless of, the specific finishes they're looking for or even the price points that would fit their budgets.
That's awesome. You mentioned grandma's house that hasn't been touched. I can picture what that might smell like. Just, that's a very, if we could somehow share scent on a podcast, we could share that smell.
Oh, it's nostalgic. Some people are like, get me away from that side of the nostalgic vibes, but other people love it. And regardless of how people feel, it does make you feel something. And that's the cool thing about mid-century architecture in Boise specifically is it's a place where you feel like you're at home. These are definitely pieces of art that are super unique, just like every single one of us. And your home should embody that as well.
That's cool. Awesome, man. Well, you mentioned you've been doing real estate here in Boise for 8 years. I'd love to hear a little bit more of your story, kind of where you came from. Maybe you're local. Are you a local guy?
Yeah.
Like born and raised?
I was born at St. Luke's downtown. That's like 3 blocks from here.
Native Idahoan.
Yeah. Awesome. So our first house was off of Collister. Okay. Now just an amazing area, even better than it was.
Like by the skate deck area or the skating rink or whatever they call it?
It was off of like Hill Road in Collister.
Okay, so a little closer to the foothills.
Yeah, that direction. Then my parents sold that house for $100,000 back in like early 90s. And that was just unheard of in the valley. So they were like, oh, let's sell and get out of here. So we moved to Eagle when it was extremely cheap. It was all farm town. That's where I grew up.
So the $100,000 price point was a big price point at the time?
Massive.
Really?
My parents bought the house brand new for like $60,000.
Do you remember what year that would have been?
I think it was like 87.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, great house. I mean, it was just, family was growing and, the needs like had to upsize, get out of there a little bit. And the price point, like dollars per square foot, they found a way better house in Eagle for essentially cheaper than we would have found if we stayed in Boise proper.
That's crazy. So $60,000 price tag in the late 80s, and they didn't quite double, but they got a 40% increase.
Pretty close.
Did I do that right? $40,000 of growth.
Yeah.
So more than a 40% increase. I think that's like a 2/3, like a 66% increase
Huge.
over a handful of years, 5
Gosh,
years.
probably, yeah, like 5. I think
That's
they
a
just
great
bought
return.
really well, and then decided it was time to scram.
Yeah. And what's crazy now is thinking about $100,000 price tags. Had they only kept it, right?
I
mean, if
know. Oh my gosh. If they rented it, I don't even know what their mortgage was, but if they kept it and rented it,
Yeah.
oh man, would have been good for them.
Well, and I think I've got close friends. I won't name drop necessarily. I've made the mistake of oversharing people's names and stories in the past, and we have to go edit it out. But I've got close friends that bought houses coming out of kind of the I don't know what we call that period of time, but the housing crisis that we had, right?
Yeah.
Call it an 8, 9, 10, 11 period. And if you picked up a house here in the valley towards the western frontier, which at the time would have been like Linder and Chinden, which is where I kind of live now, right? But I mean, you're talking houses for $100,000 or even less, which is crazy. That's not that many years ago, in 12, 13. And, here we are 12, 13 years later, I guess. And you could never find a home for $100,000 that was anything really. I mean, even dirt is far more than $100,000 at this point.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I mean, we, separate sort of topic, but we have some, land for sale in Triple Creek. It's near Idaho City. And I think the cheapest one is 100, just the land, so it's amazing.
Just a build lot, or is there some acreage?
Mm-hmm. No, I think it's just a build lot, but, cool views, stuff like that. And you're very, it's got all the utilities and everything. So there are like great aspects about it. But yeah, it's amazing what the Valley has done in the last 14-ish years. It's just, I don't think anyone expected that.
Yeah, bonkers. I feel like inflation is a thing, right? But I don't know that. Actually, I do know you can feel it. You go shop for deodorant now, and it's like $7 for a stick of deodorant. I only know that because I'm out and I need to. So my wife's like, "What do you want?" I was like, "I don't know. Maybe I want to change to something aluminum free. I don't know. I'm getting green."
Yeah.
But I went and shopped online, and I was like, "What the heck? $7 for deodorant?" So I guess inflation is a real thing. It's definitely real in housing, though. I mean, the massive amount of appreciation that we've seen over the 10-year time period you just mentioned. So bonkers.
It is unreal.
Okay, so your family did well. My family has a similar story of selling a house in that kind of time period, and we didn't live here at the time. But you guys moved out to the kind of the northwestern frontier of the valley, right?
The boonies at that time. I think we had like McDonald's came later, and then Albertsons was just getting built or had just been built or something like that. There was nothing to do. It was such an island out there by itself. So it's insane where it's gotten to.
Yep. You guys, you probably drove 44, or did you go out Hill Road, or, I mean, get the...
It was, Eagle Road was the good, like north and south,
Yep.
and then State Street, was the other route.
Here's a question for you, and my buddy will get a kick out of this. I always call it 44. What do you call it? State Street?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah.
Where does State Street start?
Jeez.
Downtown, right?
I think is it the intersection of, I guess, 44 and Eagle? Is that the beginning point of State, or is it Horseshoe Bend 55?
I don't know.
It's got to be one of the two.
If you look at the street signs in that area, this is a funny little digress that we're doing here. But if you look at the street signs there, I believe it says State Highway 44 at the intersection of Eagle Road and what you might call State Street or 44. I don't know. I'm a noob. I've been here for almost 9 years, so I've always just called it 44.
I think Google is kind of confused too, because if I ever navigate out that way, it's like, take 44 all this direction. I'm like, what are you talking about? This is State Street.
Spoken like a true local.
I guess so.
I love it.
I'm getting old too, and I'm just stuck in my ways, I guess.
Well, that happens to all of us.
Yep.
It's all good. Okay, so moved out to Eagle as a kid in 92. You would have been pretty young at that point.
3. Yeah.
Nice.
2.5.
So pretty much grew up in Eagle then.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about that.
It was really, okay. In it, I would say I did not like it, but looking back on it, I think it was a great experience. We were not well off coming up, just housing insecure, food insecure, stuff like that. It was hard. And so when the more like luxury realm was getting built there and, money was coming in to the city, a lot of my friends and the people I was around were from the more new age people living there. So it was really interesting to see the dichotomy between my family life and their family life when I'd go and hang out and, hang out with my friends and stuff. So it was great lessons learned, I think, from me because I'd go home and, dinner would be sparse or, just like drama is occurring. And then I'd go to my friend's house and it was like super pleasant food for everybody, things like that. And I learned so much from my friends' parents and just the way they interacted with each other and through business and the fact that in much regard, your destiny can be determined by you, not 100%, but you do have, or, at least the way I felt at that point was I have the ability to get past these challenges that are just like given to me in life. The cards that I picked are not great. But I do.
You were dealt.
Yeah. Cards that I was dealt were not optimal and they're vastly different from my friend group, but I do have the ability to at least change how I'm looking at my cards and figuring out what's my best play to help myself create the best life possible.
Yeah. Do you spend much time in Eagle now?
No.
Not much.
No, like
it looks a lot different, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, I get lost now.
Yeah.
There's just a ton of action happening. I mean, it's great for the city. I love that for Eagle.
Yeah.
But I'm rarely there. Obviously selling mid-century style. I think there's like 6 mid-century homes in Eagle. So
fair enough.
I just don't get pulled that way a whole lot.
Okay, cool. So Eagle was a much smaller, tiny little town when you were there. And did Eagle High School even exist?
It did. Yeah. It was a new school, very new.
Got it. So you went to Eagle High School?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nice.
Graduated in 2008.
Nice.
And stuck around in Eagle for a couple years and then went to Boise State and graduated in, I think, 15 or 14.
Cool. Good for you. Okay. Yeah. So local kid, stays local, goes to Boise State, graduated with, what was your degree in Boise State?
I double majored. I got a degree in business management and then another in marketing.
Nice. Baller.
Yeah, it was great. It was so fun. I've always like imagined school as a tool. It's not like a means to an end, but it's how can I improve myself and better myself and give myself the best odds to be successful. It's not that, hey, if I get this degree, I'm 100% going to get this job and blah, 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 and, be happy. It was always, how can I just better myself and improve in ways to give myself the best chance possible rather than if I do this thing, this outcome will happen. It's just a tool. That's how I've envisioned school always. So I loved Boise State, super plug for Boise State. Great school, great programs. The campus is great. It's clean. And
that's awesome.
Football program's pretty good too.
Turns out, yeah. As we record this, we're coming off of the first loss in multiple years?
Something like that.
For a home game, I think is the case. I should know the stat, but
I don't know. I honestly stopped watching. It was just too much.
Yeah, it was not great. And the bummer of that, obviously, is when you lose your starting quarterback, no matter what team you are most likely a shell of what you're capable of.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a little bit of a bummer there, is losing Maddox in the first quarter, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how long he's going to be out for, but that did not work out very well.
No,
Saturday.
Man, tough year.
Cool. Well, hey, you kind of piqued my interest a little bit here. Most of us did not grow up here, turns out, right? Most of us that live here in the Treasure Valley came from somewhere else. I came from Seattle almost 9 years ago. Amy on the other side of the room here, she's from California. So many folks have come from other places, but I've got 3 kids. You're a parent now. You're a kid that grew up here locally and actually went to Eagle High School, went to Boise State. Tell me about 2 of my kids. I don't know that will go to college, right? My daughter's in the middle, Avery, and she's like, I want to go to Boise State. And it's like, that's interesting. Here I am sitting across the studio from a guy who was kind of born and raised here and went to Boise State. Was that a great experience for you? Would that be something that you'd recommend for your own daughter? You're a dad now.
Yeah. I mean, I was the first in my family to go to school and graduate, from college. And it was a great experience. And I think just for life experience, those early stages of adulthood when you're kind of out on your own, you're dancing kind of between home life maybe and being fully capable on your own. I think college does a really great way, or is a really great way to help people transition out of the high school. I'm at home and super reliant on parents to a step out into the world where you're a little bit more autonomous and capable on your own.
Yeah.
So I think for that perspective, yes. And then also, I mean, I think education is really important, not just for each individual, but for us as a society too. So I will always be a huge proponent of college.
That's awesome, man. You're still here. right? So there must be something special about this place if you're born and raised here. Have you ever lived anywhere else?
I went to Utah State for a semester.
Okay.
Quickly came back, way too cold, way too expensive for me.
Interesting.
So transferred all those like 3 of those credits back to Boise State, finished there. And then I thought about moving to California twice, quickly came back, and the city just became cooler every time. And I'm like, why am I leaving? My friends are here. I've got a great group here. The city's growing. There's opportunity. And so I just doubled down and, here we are.
Nice plug for the Valley for somebody that was born and raised here and is, teetered on the idea of moving elsewhere, but you're still here. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I think if your city's not growing, it's dying. And the fact that Boise has so much still potential left to grow and do cool things and invite great people here who want to see the city and the state do even better things. It's hard to not plug Boise when that is what Boise means to me anyway, as a local here.
Yeah.
That's what I love seeing. And that's typically the people that we see move here are just great people who want to do good things in life and want to give their families a better life too. And who am I to say no to that or be upset?
Yeah. And I think if you're moving here, you're probably attracted to the growth, right? You'd be very naive to move here and think that it's not going to continue to grow. I think you said it super well too. And I had a guest recently that was basically when you stop moving is kind of when you start to die is kind of what he said. And that's kind of what you just said. If the city's not growing, it's dying, which is, I think that's good. You should trademark that unless you ripped it off from somebody else.
I don't know. Maybe I just made it up one day and stuck with me. I don't know.
Great. I love that. That's super cool. So what's it like to be a dad? Let's talk about that a little bit.
It's really challenging, really tough. You're trying to be a mind reader to a little baby who can't talk. But it's really exciting. And to see them just have their little milestones and do new things every day is just incredible. I mean, even when they make new noises, you notice that and you're like, what? It's a whole brand new thing.
You melt.
It's every new thing for them is the first time they've ever done it, and you get to be there and witness it.
Yeah.
And also teach them new things and try to be their guide and like liaison in life. And that's really the cool thing about being a parent for me.
That's awesome. What's your daughter's name?
Elia.
Beautiful name. Plans for more kids, do you think?
We'll get there. I mean, we're still definitely in the phase of like, let's get our routines and schedules back and make sure everything is moderately smooth and we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of assess. So
cool. Tell me about your wife or significant other.
Yeah, Danielle. Man, we've been together almost 4 years.
Cool.
Yeah. And she does website design. And she is such an entrepreneur, like puts me to shame all the time. Does
that make it challenging? You guys are both entrepreneurial?
Just the rest of life sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because I mean, stuff will come up out of nowhere. You know how it is when you have a client who sees a house and it's like, oh, I have to budget 2 hours for this one thing that I didn't know about 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
So stuff definitely pops up, but I think we do a really good job of balancing home life and our daughter, and each other too. So
okay. Cool. Well, let's see. Where do we go from here? So we've talked about early life, moving out to Eagle, growing up in Eagle, being a local kid, which I think is such a cool story that you think so highly of the area, such that you're still here and you went to Boise State and now you're doing business here. So you got to you double majored, business management and marketing. You said that's freaking cool. I have a business management degree.
Oh, cool.
Not from Boise State. I didn't live here at the time, but think very highly of it. That's awesome. How did business management and marketing translate to real estate? Wow.
Like I said, I've been an entrepreneur. I'm definitely like a self-starter person. You don't have to kick me in the butt every morning for me to like get going. So I have always lived my life that way. That's a good foundation, I think, to being an entrepreneur, especially a real estate agent. You can't be a sit on the couch person all day and make it. That's why there's an 80% or so failure rate in the first 2 years of both of our industries. You have to get going. You have to get yourself going. There's nobody who's going to motivate you as good as you're going to motivate yourself. So that as a foundation is essentially who I am. But I've always loved marketing. That's why I got a degree in that. But back then, I mean, this was 12 years ago, the social media marketing, like, period, the unit of college was like 4 days. Now you could have an entire year worth of just social media marketing. So it was very, very new. And I applied some of what I was learning at Boise State to the furniture store that I was at. And we grew revenue 43% in my first full-time year of being there.
Dang.
And I did all that through changing like organization, efficiencies, and maybe $5 to $15 a week in social media marketing budget. So it was super dialed in. It was really fun. But like I was saying earlier, the scalability of a local retail furniture store is really challenging unless you want to spend a ton of money on a secondary location or trying to create your own inventory in a way. So it just wasn't feasible. And then I had been approached by TJ Pierce, who is the owner of Mid-Century Homes. And him and I just started chatting about marketing and social media and digital marketing. And
how'd you meet him?
He just hit me up on Facebook.
Okay.
Added me on Facebook, and then he sends me a message that just goes, "Marketing, huh?" And I was like, "Oh, I'll bite."
Did he see some of your Facebook ads that you were running for the store?
I think he connected the dots pretty well that I was the person running the marketing.
Okay.
In all ways for the furniture store, and then was just interested on how I came to these ideas that I've had, which at the time were pretty unique. I don't think Pepsi or like Best Buy even had a social media page.
Yeah, you were on
and I just came up with this idea. I was like, if I make an Instagram for this furniture store and just make it fun and stupid, I wonder what's going to happen.
What year was that?
Oh man.
You graduated in 2008, right?
I graduated high school in 2008. It was probably like 2011.
Okay.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, I mean, I got to believe Instagram, if it existed, and I'm sure it did, was probably very, very new at that point. It was
super infantile stage. You could only post one picture at a time, and like there were no filter apps or anything like that. So what we were doing with our social media marketing for the furniture store really began taking off. And TJ saw that, and him and I just started talking like maybe once a quarter or so. We'd grab some coffee. And then about a year after we first met, he was like, "Hey, what do you think about joining my real estate team?" Because at the time I think it was just him. And I was like, "Dude, I don't think so. Like, I don't know. Real estate agents are annoying and stupid." And, so
I love that.
To preface, real estate agents, along with used car salesmen and lawyers and politicians, I think, are like some of the least trusted and liked people in a profession in the United States.
That's not a good.
So I didn't think that I wanted to be a part of that,
Yeah.
And he's like, what I'm doing here is going to be so revolutionary and cool. I'd love to just talk to you about it more. So I met up with him, and a month later I was in real estate school. I just love the business model. I think what we're doing is really cool and exciting, and there's value in it. And it's being a niche focus. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like there's immediately a ton of the market that is going to not like what you're doing. And then there's a small subsect of the market who's going to be obsessed with everything that you do. So you're kind of choosing your battles, right? Like, yeah. I could never, and I would never want to just jump out into real estate as like, I sell anything everywhere. Like that for me is just really hard. I need some like focus and a direction. Because me just like spitballing shotgun style everywhere for me is not a good approach. Like I'm not going to be successful. But when you niche down, at least in my mind, you niche down, you have a focus, like you know what you're doing in a specific realm. That makes it so much easier to be really good at that one thing, which is a way better fit for me. Plus it has, cool architecture, specific areas, things like that. It makes it really, really fun and exciting when there's a house that you've seen 20 times finally come up for sale and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been dying to see that house forever. And then you end up finding the cool client who buys it. I mean, there's just nothing like it.
It's a big enough market size, right? I mean, you said it's about 10% of the homes in Boise, right?
Roughly. Yeah.
Roughly. Okay. And then what about of the buyer pool? What percentage of buyers would have an affinity or an interest towards mid-century modern?
I think just as an aesthetic, it's really pleasing to look at.
Sure.
Got a lot of cool materials like, brick, stone, wood, concrete at times, huge walls of windows. Like it's very appealing to look at, even if you're not serious on buying one. and they're just amazing homes to live in. If anyone out there is thinking about buying one, I mean, it's a cool style to be looking at and eventually own.
Yeah, it's funny that what our preferences are as consumers, right? What is fitting to our eye, or what is pleasing to the eye. If you think about, and not everything is going to be pleasing to everybody's eye. I got to believe mid-century is pleasing to more eyes than not, though, I would think, right? It's funny. There's probably styles that if you showed me a collage of things and do you like this, I'd be like, oh, no. And I'm like, and I don't know, even I'm not artistic enough to even be able to tell you what that is, but I do know that I like mid-century modern. I'm not necessarily wanting to live in one of those homes per se, but I'm sure there's also people out there that would be like, oh, I don't like that. But I got to believe that's got to be a pretty small section of the market.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say exactly and quantify it, but I think more than anything, it's aesthetically really cool.
Yeah.
And even if someone's not looking, a lot of times they'll follow our page on Instagram and, just for fun. It's fun to look at, and you get ideas. And there's definitely ways to transition from mid-century modern to typical today modern, or anything in between.
Yeah, I love that. Are you still part of BNI?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
After Hours chapter?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I think that's the first time we met probably was, that's cool. That's maybe another story for another day, but the best commercials in BNI are what? I'm going to ask you to fill in the blank. Like when you're giving your commercial in BNI, is it really good to be like, I want to help anyone with a pulse? Like, it's not, right?
Focused.
Right.
Focused, purposeful, and specific.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of getting at. I wanted to kind of pull that out just a little bit. You had said your very specific target home style, right? And a target audience helps you be very non-shotgunny, for lack of a better word. I guess targeted is the right word, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I love really getting to know my clients as people, know what they like, what they don't like, how they envision their life in the next 5 to 10 years, all those sorts of things. And then that helps us really come together and identify not just the size of the home, the budget involved and the colors and things like that, but the specific subdivisions that is going to enrich their lives.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I also, with your very targeted approach, right, your specific mid-century niche, you probably feel like you get to know some of these homes a little bit too, right? As you, because there's not that many of them, so you probably can inventory them in your mind to a certain extent.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Probably take on a bit of a personality, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, someone will post just a picture from like a street somewhere, and I'll be like, I know exactly where that person is. It's
That's
funny.
Cool. So how many local mid-century experts are there?
There's 6 of us on the team.
Okay. Is there anybody else in the Valley that claims to be mid-century?
Nothing that I'm aware of. I know there's a few cool teams across the United States. More than any other time, we see that it's a single agent running a team, I guess.
Yeah.
And just doing something cool in some like mid-century or adjacent style of architecture. But typically, I mean, most agents do the more general side approach, which is, anything and anyone. And, and like I said, that does not make it bad or better or anything in between. It's just, it's a personality style. I would not do that because I would not be good at that.
Would you say that you have a specific skill set around this style of home? For somebody that says, hey, I specialize in this specific style, and in your case, mid-century modern.
Okay. I can comp any house anywhere that is a mid-century style in Boise just off the top of my head in like 10 seconds.
Right. And that's an amazing skill set, right?
Yeah. So if a house lists, I'll tell you immediately, like this house is going to go for 15 over or 18, or this house is overpriced. I mean, it's just in a matter of split second, that is no problem for me. But again, if you take me out to CUNA, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So
that's okay though.
Yeah.
You don't claim to know what you're doing out in CUNA.
Exactly. Never would. It's just, that's not my jam, but anything mid-century in Boise can comp that in 2 seconds, tell you exactly where we need to be. I position my buyer clients really well on that front. So when the time comes, and if we are in a competitive situation, I'm like, guys, it's no big deal. You just like, let me run with my side of the stuff. And if it all makes sense for you, I think we can get this, so competition kind of matters a lot less, I would say, when you're up against me or someone like me with a mid-century client, because we've been looking at these. We know exactly what it's going to come to. We've been talking to these people for months.
Yeah.
And this specific one is the right one. And we're going to do anything to snag it.
That's cool. And not to pick on any other real estate agent in this valley, because there's lots of good ones, and I have lots of people that have sat in that seat that are agents, but folks that are more generalists, they're not going to be as skilled when it comes to a specific style of home versus somebody who says, hey, I'm not a generalist at all. I don't even claim to be able to, effectively sell you a home in Cuna, is what you just basically said a few minutes ago, right? So that's really, really cool. And I think anyone that's in the mid-century space or is interested in that, like, they would be so blessed to be able to get in touch with you or the folks that are on your team. I think that's cool. And it's very unique, I think, in the real estate space, as far as I know, for someone to say, hey, I really only specialize in this specific
Yeah.
type
I mean,
of home.
I am not doing this for money, really. Like, obviously it's a perk, and that's why we all have jobs, but I do it because of the satisfaction and how good it feels to help someone buy their first house or buy an amazing mid-century home that is literally one of a kind. There's zero other ones available in Boise. There's just nothing like it to help people satisfy that want or need or goal in their life. And to be on the other side of that, assisting them is it's an incredible feeling.
So continue on just a little bit with mid-century vibe here. Do you actually live in a mid-century home?
Yeah, I do. So my house was built in 1957.
Okay.
I live in Winstead Park, which I swear is the coolest subdivision in Boise. It is off of Curtis and Northview. We're 30 seconds to Garden City.
Okay.
4 minutes to the freeway, 7 minutes downtown, but it's still such an affordable price point that it invites everybody to live there in a really cool community that's so walkable and fun, and everyone's so friendly. But yeah, I've been in that house since 2020. I was one of the super lucky people who bought as the COVID shutdown was happening, and nobody was writing offers. And I just got my first real pre-approval back.
Nice.
And this house has been sitting for like 2 weeks, and everyone was kind of afraid of doing stuff. And I'd wanted to be a homeowner since I was probably 16 or 17.
Love that.
Found this house, and I was like, here's my offer. Like, this is literally the best I can do. If you don't take this, I'm not going to buy a house. And the guy was like, yeah, let's do it. Awesome. I happened to meet him once at Winco down the street, just super random, and just a really great guy. And he thought I was the perfect next steward of this home built in 1957. So
that's cool. Were you aware of that house before making an offer on it, or before it became available?
Yeah. So our company does a lot of off-market sales. So we identify homes before they come online through various channels. Sometimes agents will hit us up. Sometimes clients will hit us up. There's so many different ways to find off-market opportunities, but I did find this one, shot some video of it before it listed. Then COVID shutdown happened. And then that's when I came in with my offer.
Awesome. It worked out.
It did. It really did.
Interest rates were pretty low at that time too.
3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Worked out.
Got one of the nice 3% rates.
Yep. That was a really nice springboard for a lot of us in that business. For a long time. I mean, it was a horrible period of time, but yet such an amazing period of time for real estate.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was just an incredible time that I hope, honestly, we never see again. It was way too one-sided. It was, you were making your biggest decisions in life in 30 seconds. And that's a lot of pressure and stress to put on people who are just regular people.
Agree. Well, cool. And you love mid-century modern. You live in a mid-century modern house, turns out. If you had to say your top 3 things that were your favorite things about mid-century, maybe 3's not enough, but what are the things that catch your eye and that you're most interested in that you love?
I mean, quintessential top number 1 is original hardwood floors. Those can be refinished 2 or 3 times in their life, and you can't do better than those. Giant walls of windows invite a ton of natural light in. That's just good for you. Vitamin D is always good. Yeah. It's nice to see outside and know that there's life beyond the 4 walls that you live in. Yeah. Man, and then the third one, I would probably say wood-clad ceilings. It's just such a cozy...
Is that tongue and groove?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just such a cozy feeling to sit in your own home. You've got wood above you, wood below you, a nice fire burning, and it's sheer solitude. And it is really hard to find something like that in any home not built in the 50s or 60s.
That's cool. Mix in like a low-backed leather sofa with like some wood peg to hold it up. I don't know.
Oh
what
yeah.
I'm
I mean,
talking about,
I saw you guys have a Eames lounge chair out in the foyer over there.
That's awesome.
That is the Ferrari of furniture design back in the mid-century era. That is, you can't do better than that.
I love it. Cool. Well, the whole goal of this podcast is really to help people get introduced to you and what you specialize at and what you're good at, right? And you already said it. People like to do business with who they know and who they like and who they trust. Tell me a little bit more about yourself. So, born and raised in this valley, you're a dad of a 7-month-old. You've been with your significant other for 4 years. You've got maybe plans for kids in the future. Who knows? And you love specifically the mid-century modern style. But what else is there that we need to know about Vance? How do you like to spend your time?
Man, outside of all of that stuff, which takes up 99% of my time, I love CrossFit. I will talk about CrossFit.
Oh, that's rad.
I'm one of those people.
Where do you go to CrossFit?
I'm a real estate agent and I'm a CrossFitter, and I just never know what to talk about.
And that's an identity, right? If I'm not mistaken, being a CrossFitter.
It is now. Yeah. So my cousin from California visited like 3 or 4 years ago, and she looked great and she was so happy. And I was like, dude, you were like killing it. What are you doing? That's so different from the last time I saw you. And she was like, CrossFit is the way. And then so the next week I signed up, and it has been amazing. The community is so cool. Boise CrossFit.
Which is where?
Awesome gym. It's on Chinden, kind of near the connector.
Okay.
Chinden in like 34th-ish. But yeah, amazing gym. Programming is awesome. The people are super cool. And you get the best workouts ever. And you don't have to think about anything. Everything, you just show up. Everything is programmed. They tell you what to do. You just do it, and do it to the best of your ability, and
nice.
Feel better than you've felt ever in your life.
How many days a week do you CrossFit?
I try to go 5.
That's a lot.
Monday through Friday.
What's normal for the CrossFit community? Like a minimum? What would be like a normal minimum? Is it 5?
Yeah, like 2 or 3.
2 or 3. Okay. So if somebody wanted to get into it and they're like, hey, I can't commit 5 days a week.
Yeah,
is
it is a lot.
Is that okay?
Oh yeah. I mean, they definitely have plans. You could do like a punch card even. So each time you go, you just take a punch card thing. And then that'll run out whenever you satisfy like 20 punches or something. So yeah, I mean, you can do it however you want, but CrossFit really is just, it's functional fitness for whatever ability level you have.
That's awesome. How long have you been doing it?
Like 3.5, almost 3 years, I think.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah.
I've toyed around with the idea of jumping into CrossFit. I've got a good buddy that lives in Chelan, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
That's, I guess, not a big deal, but he's been into CrossFit, I bet, for a decade. And he instructs now as well. And it's like, it's a huge consumer of his time, and probably in a good way. I mean, but
where do you go?
I don't CrossFit.
You go to a gym though.
Actually, I'm a home gym guy.
Oh, nice.
And I have been for a long time. And that's not a good fit for everybody, right? I think you kind of teased at this earlier when you said, hey, if you're not self-motivated, and I'll fill in the blanks that maybe we didn't say, if you don't make a plan and then execute your plan, if you're just sitting back waiting for something good to happen to you, it's probably pretty unlikely that that's going to be the case, right? I'm pretty routine oriented. And maybe that's why I've been able to be successful in this business and get away with working from home and be successful. But I've got a morning routine that I try to hold myself pretty accountable to 5 days a week. And it's the same Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then it's different on Tuesday and Thursday are the same as well. But yeah, I've been able to make that plan and then work that plan and be disciplined enough. And I believe that, staying in good shape is super important, because I'm a very active guy, and even now I'm in my early 40s, and I want to be the guy that plays golf until the day before I die, right? Like a good buddy of mine, his grandpa, 90 years old, played golf 4 days a week, played golf the day before he died, wasn't sick.
Wow.
I mean, it's a great story, but and that would be a cool way to go. But I want to be as active as I can be my whole life, right?
You feel like your consistency in the gym and like being active, do you think that translates to business pretty well?
Yeah, I think anything is going to translate like that. I was actually out for a run this morning. I'm pretty hooked on the Peloton app these days. And so I do like their strength program on Monday and Friday, and then I do their running program on Wednesday. And the coach in my ear today, and I don't always love the coaches necessarily, but I think it's super helpful to have somebody telling you what to do. Because inevitably, if I'm out for a run by myself and I'm just listening to music or whatever, a podcast, I'm probably not working as hard or running as fast as if I have a coach in my ear, right? And that's probably true for a lot of life. I think we can get very complacent and say, oh, we're good. and we'll pivot away from coaching, right? Or from whatever teaching relationship that we maybe used to sit under, whatever that looks like, right? Sorry, what was your question? Did I?
How does your consistency in other things translate to business?
Yeah. So the guy in my ear this morning on my run was like, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And I was like, that's a good one.
Man, hearing stuff like that sometimes just sort of hurts. Like it hurts just enough to motivate you to do better.
Yeah. And I'm not much of a self-help guy whatsoever. I believe that the good things in my life are from the Lord. And so certainly I have to participate and make a plan and not just sit on my butt. But I thought that was really true, what he said this morning. The way you do anything is kind of the way you do everything. And so, I don't know, I try to do everything fast and full, and right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm an Enneagram 3, which means I'm an achiever, and I want to be the best at everything that I attempt to do, right? And so I never want to do anything mediocre. And that is probably good, and that probably is a flaw. It just kind of depends on what we're talking about. But I think my skill set has potentially uniquely equipped me to be able to be a work from home guy primarily, and to still stay in good shape and to still kind of execute a plan. So I don't know if that answers your question.
It's hard. I mean, I think it's so easy when you're at home or have other distractions. It's really easy to get off your game, but it takes, I think, an Enneagram 3 to kind of get past those things and not use them as crutches to your own demise.
Well, and I think you probably already said it. I think working out and getting exercise and just knowing what the positive effect is on your body for the long term, but also just feeling good kind of from the endorphins immediately after, and just knowing, hey, I just did something that's really good for me. I think that's another huge motivating factor. So
yeah, it really is.
Like I said, I've thought about Instagram. I've thought about CrossFit for years. And the one time I ever went, I got hurt, which was such a bummer. And I got hurt, I think, because my buddy, Steven Johnson, if he's ever listening, hey buddy, he was like, yeah, we'll just take it slow for you. And I just think I had vulnerable shoulders at the time. I don't know what it was. But shoulders do not heal fast. And I think it was about a year before my shoulders kind of came back around. So probably posture related, and the way I sleep and all those things, it probably was just primed for injury. Yeah,
I mean, I've heard that CrossFit is the sport that has the most injuries year to year. So not surprised.
But I think a slower start, and I think being aware of what maybe your ergonomic situation is beforehand would probably be a much more effective way for me to jump into it. But I don't know. I'm a little hesitant because I think there is one in my neighborhood now, so maybe I'll check it out. But I live in the Paramount neighborhood, and I think there's a brand new CrossFit gym just kind of right up by like the Winco. They just
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That could be cool.
Yeah, it would be very, very convenient. So maybe I should check it out.
You should. It's so efficient, better workouts, and the people, honestly, the people who are there are people like you. They take stuff seriously. They want to do a good job.
Yeah.
A little bit more in your face than just regular non-CrossFit folk. But I think you'd love it. I really do.
All right. Well, maybe I'll give it a shot. That's cool, man. Thanks for sharing. What else? What else do you like to? So CrossFit, huge part of your life. That's big time suck. That's 5 days a week.
Yeah, honestly, not much else. I'm very much of a homebody type of person, which might surprise some people. Those are really the things that light me up. It's really, I love working. I love serving people. Love my family, and I love working out.
That's awesome. Cool.
Pretty simple guy.
And you like college football, I think.
Love college football.
So ideal Saturday looks like what?
Oh man, do some laundry. Watch College Game Day starting at 9 a.m., watch that whole thing, and then watch football, every single game that I can watch until the Ducks play, probably late at night.
Yeah.
Hang out with the family, take a nap, and that's a great Saturday for me.
I love it. Do you ever see those memes on Twitter or wherever your social media of choice about the college football fan that can't walk, can't see straight the next day because he's like, as a fan, I was obligated to stay up and watch Hawaii play at local time because they were playing.
Yeah.
It's an 18-hour day of it.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it takes some effort,
Yeah. That's cool. Well, I hope this was a great conversation for you. I know it was for me. Thanks so much for being on here and sharing your story. Again, like we said before, people like to do business with who they know, who they like, and who they trust. Obviously, you are looking specifically to work with people that have an interest in mid-century modern, and maybe you've tickled somebody's fancy today with sharing your story and kind of your expertise. What's the best way for somebody to get in touch with you?
Our Instagram channel is Boise Mid-Century Homes. That's a great way to talk to any of us easily and quickly. I've also been obsessed with TikTok.
Okay.
I've been shooting videos every single day for TikTok. It's such a fun platform. The engagement there is just really cool. It's all unique stuff and unique people, and it's been really fun.
Is that monetizing for you, would you say?
It is.
Oh, dude, that's cool.
Not much. I mean, I make like $5 a video, but it's still fun. Like show
right.
off cool houses and get people's opinions and everywhere in Boise.
Yeah, TikTok is a space we haven't played in at all. I occasionally will jump on there to follow a guy that posts about XRP, a cryptocurrency.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty engaged in, but that's usually
you can find anything you're looking for on TikTok. It's so cool.
I think it's the largest social media platform. Is that right?
Is it? I don't know.
I don't know. Shoot. Somebody better fact check.
I know. Yeah. Someone's got to look at that.
Well, we'll stick your Instagram here on the screen. It's probably already on there.
Yeah. Vance 101 is my personal one. Boise Mid-Century Homes is the company channel. And then Vance 101 on TikTok.
Dude, love it. Thanks for being here today. I really appreciate you sitting in that chair and sharing story with us. And we hope that you enjoyed it as well.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for having me. This is a blast. And anytime you want me back, I'll be here.
Awesome. Love it. Thanks, Vance.
Yeah.